Yo, if you're watching this, welcome back. My name is Garrett. I am your local tax guy, and I wanted to talk to you really quickly about S corporations. We get asked this question a lot, and it's, probably one that we find ourselves answering more than any other question, honestly. An S corporation is a lot more than just, when I hit $50,000 of, say, net income, I should get an S corporation, because that's probably what your friends have said, because oftentimes their accountant or whoever told them that, and so they're spilling that same thing to you. And it's like, okay, I hit $50,000, I should be an S corporation like my friend. That's oftentimes how the information is transmitted from person to person. While that's not entirely wrong, that's not the only consideration that needs to go into it. There are other things you need to think about before diving into an S corporation. An S corporation is going to require a lot more effort on either your part or an accountant's part. And so if you're putting in the effort, it's going to take up more time. If an accountant's putting in more effort on your behalf, it's going to cost you more money. So there's an upfront cost of either time or money out the gate. It's also going to require something like a payroll service or a little more advanced record keeping than what you're probably already doing. You're going to have to be, I'm not going to say straight and narrow, but you're going to have to make sure that you're maintaining adequate records, and not adequate by your standards, but by the IRS's standards. And so in doing that, again, you're either going to do it yourself and it's going to take more time, or you're going to pay a CPA to do it or an accountant to do it. So it may be a consideration of, yes, when I hit, call it 50,000. Honestly, that's a little low. I would probably say we need to see somewhere around $80,000 of net income before we consider an S corporation. Again, that's not the only consideration. What we do oftentimes when we're having this conversation with a client is trying to fill out like, hey, if they're not going to pay us to do it, are they going to maintain adequate books and records? And are they going to be able to maintain payroll? Are they going to be able to do all of the things required to maintain the S election, the S corporation status? If they're not going to do that, then we, as an accountant, it is my job to tell them this is not a good fit for you. Now, I say all this making it sound extremely hard. It's not. In fact, we do it all the time. It's very easy to us. It would be hard for a content creator who does not have a background in accounting or tax and doesn't want to have one. If that's not something you're interested in, I don't recommend going that route. That being said, if you hit about the $80,000 mark, you are interested in either A, doing it yourself and maintaining good books and records, or B, and payroll, or B, paying an accountant to do so, then yeah, absolutely. It may very well be a consideration. It may very well save you a lot of money in taxes, and the savings could be well worth the required effort. But again, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it very much depends on how your business is structured, if you're going to put in the effort or at least put in the money to make sure it stays consistent and compliant. That's what we think through as we're going through the S corporation discussion. It is not wise to listen to your friend tell you, hey, my accountant got me set up with an S corp, you should do the same. That does not apply one-to-one, even if you have similar businesses, because while you have similar business structures, the income may not be the same and it may not warrant it. So a couple of considerations there. That's usually how we think through these things. I know that that doesn't give you a decisive answer, and that's generally speaking what people want, but unfortunately this is a case-by-case scenario, and it's very hard to just give a hard and fast rule of when should you create an S corporation. I'll tell you, what I would highly recommend is going to the IRS website, and we'll link it here in the description below. You can see the requirements of maintaining reasonable compensation and doing some of these other things in order to stay compliant with an S corporation, and if that looks like something that's too much for you, we're happy to either help you with that or happy to, kind of make the assessment for you and tell you whether or not an S corporation is good for your business. But outside of that, like I said, I'm your local tax guy. My name is Garrett. And if you want to know anything else or have any questions about taxes, don't hesitate to DM us. Let us know. We'd love to talk with you and see if, an S corp or just any other tax situation is good for you and your business. Thanks.